I often smile when people tell me, Peter, you gave up everything to follow Jesus. Everything? It suddenly fell that way. But let me tell you something most people never think about. Leaving your boots is easy. Leaving the life you've always known? Now that's another mother. Come, sit with me. This memory still feels as clear as yesterday. I stood on the shore for what felt like forever. The crowd had begun to drift away. Some people were still talking excitedly about the miracle. Others surrounded James and John, pointing at the unbelievable number of fish lying inside the boats. Children laughed as they tried to count them. One little boy proudly declared, "I got 200. His father chuckled, "I don't think you've even reached 50. I laughed to myself. None of them was close. I spent my whole life chasing catches like that. Every fisherman on the Sea of Galilee dreamed about mornings like this. Yet, for some reason, I couldn't stop looking at Jesus. Not the fish. Jesus. Have you ever wanted something your whole life, then finally received it, only to discover your heart had already moved on to something greater? That was exactly how I felt. Andrew walked over carrying one of the torn nets. He looked from the fish to me, then back again. "Simon, what now?" I stared at the lake. "I don't know." He smiled. "I've never heard you say that before." I laughed. "I've never met anyone like him before." Andrew nodded slowly. Later I vowed. See, Jesus wasn't calling anyone. He simply stood near the water, speaking quietly with a few people. No pressure, no speeches, no promises of riches, no grand announcement. Just, please. Looking back now, that amazed me more than the miracle itself. Most men try to persuade people to follow them. Jesus never needed to. I walked toward my boat. The old wooden planks creaked beneath my feet. How many years had I stood here? How many stumps at this little boat carried metal? I ran my hand along the edge of the timber. The wood was rough beneath my fingers. Every scratch had a story. My father had taught me how to repair these boards. I could still hear his voice. "Take care of your boat, Simon. One day she'll take care of you." I smiled. "You served me well." I wasn't talking to the boat. I was thanking God. Just then, Mother Miriam appeared again. I should have known she would. She folded her arms and looked at the mountain of fish. "So, the fish finally decided to like your face?" I burst into laughter. Apparently, they all changed their minds on the same morning. She leaned closer. "I've lived long the time, Simon. I've seen lucky fishermen. I've seen skilled fishermen. But today," she glanced towards Jesus, "I saw something else." I quietly replied, "So did I." When I reached home, my wife opened the door before I knocked. She looked first at my face, then behind me, then back to me. Where had the fish? I blinked. The news had reached her. So I said, Then I laughed. I actually forgot. She spat at me. "You forgot? Biggest cut of your life?" I know. She placed one hand on my forehead. "I'm taking if you've been standing in the sun for too long." I laughed so hard, my eyes filled with tears. "No, I met someone." She smiled again.
"Teacher?"
"Yes." "The one everyone is talking about?" "Yes." So she waited. They quietly hugged. What did he say to you? I looked at the floor for his long moment. Finally whispered. He said nothing. But everything in me is asking me to follow him. Silence felt the wrong. The kind of silence only two people who love each other can truly understand. Slowly sat down. So, you're leaving? It wasn't really a question. I nodded. I think I have to. She looked out of the window towards the lake. For a moment I wondered if she might ask me to stay. Instead, she reached across the table, took my hand, and said, silent, I married a fisherman. But long before that, I married a man who wanted to be a god. Tears filled my eyes. I don't know where this road leads. She smiled. Neither do I. But if the God of Abraham is calling, who am I to stand in his way? Looking back now, people often tell stories about my faith. Very few remembers are. If I ever walked boldly beside Jesus, it was partly because a faithful woman released me to do so. We are thankful for more times than I can count. That afternoon, I returned to the shore. Jesus had already begun walking. He didn't look back. He didn't call my name again. He simply walked, almost as though he already knew my answer. I looked once more at the boats, at the nets, at the fish, at the life I had always known. And I took one step, just one. Funny, isn't it? Sometimes the smallest step you take becomes the biggest decision of your life. I caught up with him. He turned towards me, smiled, and together we began walking. I didn't know where. I didn't know for how long. I didn't know what it could cost. I only knew one thing. I never wanted to lose sight of him again.
Looking
Of that now. People think I left boats behind that day. Their mistake. I left my hands that empty, and in exchange I found purpose. Next time, I'll tell you about my very first day following Jesus. Believe me, none of us had any idea what we were doing.